everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are debunking the top 15 arguments of pro-choice people. So I had to make a list, and this took a long time to make because I had to do a bunch of debates and arguments online and put together the most used arguments I've seen, and then I'm going to debunk them for you today. So the first one, and these are in no specific order, the first one is no uterus, no opinion. Now, this argument just doesn't make any sense. The logic trail does not follow. If you have not been murdered, you can't have an opinion on murder. Doesn't make sense, right? Anyone is allowed an opinion on anything, regardless. Now, saying you can't have an opinion because you're not this biological sex, that's called sexism. Wow, women, you thought you couldn't be sexist? That right there is the definition of sexism. We as a society can say, oh, that person was murdered, that was wrong. We don't need to have been the person that was murdered to have an opinion on that. So I don't know where that logic trail follows. Most people that are pro-choice support Black Lives Matter. So you can't have an opinion on the black guys being murdered because you're not black, nor have you been murdered. Oh, but they only use that argument when it helps their argument. No, it doesn't work out. The logic trail does not follow. It's inconsistent, and it will never be a logical argument to use. And also, regarding that, you women cannot have an opinion on men. Any issues that regard men, and men only, you can't have no opinion on that. Male privilege, you can't have an opinion, because that's only for men. You see where the logic trail lines up? It doesn't. Number 2 is probably the most used. Again, these are in no logical order. I just thought of them and wrote them down. My body, my choice. Scientifically, it is not your body. I thought the left was all about science, but not when it comes to abortion. It is inside your body, sure, but that is not your body. That is not your body that is being ripped out of you when you have an abortion. That is not your body being killed when you have an abortion. Sure, it uses your body. Then again, they're like, oh, it's in my body, so it's my choice. You can't kill someone that's having sex with you just because they're inside you. Any penetration that happens using their logic, whether it's a man, a woman, if any part of them is inside of you, whether it be your mouth or the other places that things can go inside, you have the right to kill them then. But you said my body, my choice. Anything in my body I can kill. No? Huh. See where it doesn't line up? See where it does not make sense? That thing inside of you is a separate being completely. Different DNA. Could be a different blood type. It's a different body. The mother doesn't have a penis. The mother doesn't have 20 fingers, 20 toes. The mother doesn't have 2 hearts, 2 brains. I mean, she could, but not in this case. That fetus is not a woman's body. Period. If it was, she would be the one dying every abortion. But she's not, because it's not her body. This next one irritates me probably the most out of all of them. Their argument is, it's a clump of cells. Now, I don't know about you, but I took biology starting in like 8th grade. So the first thing we learned in biology was, every living thing is made of cells. So, yes, it's a clump of cells. You are a clump of cells. Can I kill you just because you're a clump of cells? No, why not? You're just a clump of cells, that's your argument. Now, a fetus, an embryo, starts looking like an actual human by around 8 weeks, give or take. In the first trimester, Now, you're gonna sit there and tell me it's not a human. It doesn't even look like a human. It's just a clump of cells. No, honey, no. So you're telling me as soon as it stops looking like just a clump of cells, then you're okay with banning abortion because it's no longer just a clump of cells? Or is it a clump of cells all the way up to 9 months? In that case, you're still right. And you still don't have the right to kill it. Okay, I stand corrected. I said last one probably angers me the most. I think it's this next one. So number 4 is, it's not a human. I'm sorry, I didn't realize 2 humans can make a non-human baby. Is it ground beef? Is it a pig? Is it a cow? Is it a jellyfish? That logic line is just gone. If you use this argument, you are beyond stupid that no one can help you at that point. Science. You guys, the left loves science, right? When it comes to climate change, anyway. They love saying, oh, the right is anti-science. Honey, basic science says yes, that is indeed another human being at conception. It's a human, it's not anything else. It cannot be anything else. A human cannot conceive a different species of a fetus. That doesn't work that way, honey. It's basic biology. Basic science, which you guys say you care about so much. You are an idiot if you use that argument. Sometimes abortion is okay, and it's for these people. Okay, the next argument, I mean, it can make sense, but the way they use it, it cannot. They say it's not viable on its own. Yes, a 1-month-old baby is not, baby, out of the birth canal, baby is not viable on its own. It will die if you leave it for more than a couple of days. Probably sooner than that. Viability changes from geographical location. It changes for every baby, for every mother. There's no consistent line at viability. Some doctors say it's 22 weeks because they have more modern medicine that can take care of a child then. Sometimes it's 24 weeks. That's not a consistent line to draw because there is no line. It's not right here is when a fetus is viable. Sometimes they're not developed until later on. Sometimes they're developed earlier. Can we kill a 1-month-old baby just because it's not viable by itself? It needs a caretaker. It doesn't need a mother, per se. It just needs a caretaker. Can we kill it because it's not viable on its own? Because that's what you guys are saying. It's perfectly okay to kill a baby because it's not viable. No. That's not a consistent argument to use. And that's the thing. I've asked pro-choicers. I'm like, okay, so when's viability? They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, you kind of have to know if you're using that argument. Don't ya? One fetus in Africa. Let's say Africa, in a small area that's not very developed, that baby at 26 weeks, let's say, versus a baby that's 24 weeks in Washington. Can you kill one because it's not viable in Africa, but you can't kill one in Washington because it is viable? But most pro-choicers are okay with abortion all the way up to 9 months. So it's not viable isn't a consistent argument if you're fine with abortion all the way up to 9 months. Some are even okay with it after birth. And at that point, it's literally murder. This argument makes me laugh a lot. And same with Steven Crowder. It's, what if the woman was raped? Okay. So you're arguing abortion for less than 0.5% of all abortions. So let's say that, okay. In the case of rape, abortion is okay. Are you fine banning all other abortions? No. Then why bring it up? 2 wrongs don't make a right. Sure, it's traumatic. Rape is horrible. It's a horrible crime. But just because the woman was raped, it's okay to kill a child? Like, that doesn't... She can have the baby and give it up for adoption. Fun fact, 85% of women who conceive from rape choose to keep the child. So using that, these people argue based off emotion, versus these women who were raped and actually got pregnant were like, you know what? 2 wrongs don't make it right. Let me keep this child. I can keep it for myself or give it up for adoption. Only 15% of rape victims that fall pregnant want to abort the baby, and that's fine. I will allow it for rape, especially if it's underage rape. Then again, I support guns. If you don't want to get raped and get pregnant from rape, get a gun. Oh, and then they're like, oh, but like, you can't kill a person. If they're raping you and you want to get pregnant from that rape, and you don't want to get raped in the first place, I'm sure no one wants to get raped, but you don't want to kill that perpetrator, pedophiles, rapists, and murderers all deserve the death penalty, period. They don't deserve to live. In fact, most rapists that go to jail get raped in jail, because that even breaks the jail code. That's like completely immoral in jail. So no, aborting a baby just because it was from rape is not okay. That's just still killing an innocent child that didn't ask to be there. But I will allow it. I will say yes, sure, for rape. But that argument is inconsistent if you support abortion anyway. There's no point in bringing it up. You're arguing with emotion over facts. Another one that is easily disproved by basic biology. They say it doesn't have a heartbeat. Okay, let's debunk this. If an embryo, at that point, an embryo's heartbeat can be heard as early as 5 weeks. Keyword in there, heard. So it could have a heartbeat before that, but you can't really hear it on the technology we have quite yet. 5 weeks. Most abortions happen between 5 and 8 weeks. So most abortions, if not all, because most women don't find out they're pregnant till a little bit later on, after they've missed their period and whatnot. Most abortions happen when the fetus has a heartbeat. So that argument is literally inconsistent and doesn't work. A fetus has a heartbeat by 5 weeks. Most abortions happen between 5 and 8 weeks, meaning all of those abortions, that baby has a heartbeat. This literally is so just wrong. This argument is dumb. It doesn't work at all. God, we're just halfway through now. I'm losing brain cells, and I wrote out all these arguments, and I'm still losing brain cells just talking about it. Number 8 is, it's not alive. So as we've gone over in previous arguments for, it's just a clump of cells. Yes, cells are very much alive. It's basic biology. Most scientists agree that yes, it's alive the moment of conception. Once that egg and sperm meet, and the egg closes off and says, yep, there we go, we've conceived, we're done. That is it. That's a new human life. It is alive. Period. That's basic science. If the left is so into science, this argument should never be used. Ever. I don't know how else to debunk that. It's literally just basic science. It is indeed alive. It is indeed a separate human being. There's not much else to that. If you use that argument, you're really stupid. Really stupid. The next argument used is, it's not a baby, it's a fetus. Okay, well, the definition of a fetus is an unborn human baby. And not to mention, doctors, OBGYNs, like, any medical site where you look up fetal development, it says, your baby is at this point. Your baby. It's not called a fetus shower. I'm going to a fetus shower. I'm hosting my fetus shower. No, it's called a baby shower. If you guys are that obsessed with terminology and say, no, it's not a baby, it's just a fetus, so it's okay to abort, you're an idiot. Different words for the same thing doesn't change the fact that it's a living human being inside that mother. I don't understand why using the word baby versus fetus makes any difference at all. It is a baby. A fetus is an unborn human baby. There's nothing else to it. Like, stop getting triggered over words, you stupid libtards. If you choose to get offended over something, that is a personal choice. Nothing offends me because words are dumb. Most of the time they make me laugh. Or sometimes I'm like, oh, that's not really funny. I don't care. You choose to care. You choose to get offended. And that's not our problem. So stop getting offended over using the word baby because that's what it is. Okay, coming in at number 10 is, it's not conscious. Okay, this argument is so flawed. So flawed on so many different levels. 1. A fetus is conscious and knows its surroundings by around 18 weeks. So, yes, most abortions happen between 5 and 8 weeks, but there's still a large chunk that happen between 9 and, normally the cutoff is 24, but, I mean, pro-abortion people would like it after birth, so whatever. A person who is sleeping is not conscious. Can we kill them? I mean, it's not painful. You could just shoot them in the head. They're not conscious. Doesn't matter. What happened to Breonna Taylor was killed in her sleep? Which is incorrect. She was awake, but using that argument, she was unconscious. It's fine. It doesn't matter. See where that doesn't line up? A person in a coma, they're not conscious. Can anyone just walk into the hospital and be like, oh, it's an unconscious person, bang? No, that's not how that works. It's called basic human decency. Like, no. A fetus can be conscious as early as 16 weeks. And then they start developing more and more consciousness and awareness of surroundings as time goes on. That argument just doesn't work. And it's irrational to use that. Because a sleeping person is not conscious. Someone who has fainted is not conscious. Someone in a coma is not conscious. We can't kill people that are just unconscious. The logic trail does not follow with any of these arguments, especially this one. Okay, this next one also makes me quite angry. What a woman does with her body doesn't affect you. Okay, men, you can go and rape women. It doesn't affect any of the rest of us. It affects that one woman, sure. Just like abortion affects the baby. You know, you're killing the baby. Murder is okay, guys, because it's their choice to do what they want with their body. No? Oh, why not? Why can't it be? Because it's immoral? Because we have laws surrounding that? Yeah. This doesn't follow. When someone is doing something immoral, let's say this white racist old man is calling another a black person the N-word. Oh, that doesn't affect me. I'm just a white girl sitting on the bench beside them. That doesn't affect me. So why should I care? Because it's immoral. It's wrong. We as a society need to step up and stop things that are being done that are immoral. That's why we have laws. Sure, not everyone finds the same things immoral, sure. But killing is one of them. In most societies, killing is very wrong. And that's for a reason. We can't take another person's life. We can't rape another person. There's things we should and should not do, and those things that we should not do, people need to step up and say, hey, that's wrong. That's our responsibility as a society. So saying, oh, it doesn't affect you, wrong. Not an argument. Doesn't work. Or else you shouldn't be talking about Black Lives Matter. As a white person especially. You shouldn't be talking about Black Lives Matter. It doesn't affect you. Okay? Okay. Okay. This next one is like such a weird argument. It's pro-lifers aren't pro-life, they're just pro-forced birth. Okay, the definition of birth is a baby leaving a mother. By that means, if you give birth to a dead baby, it's still a birth. A stillborn, ever heard of that? Yeah, it's still a birth. An abortion, you're taking the baby out of the mother, that is still a birth. Regardless, because the baby is leaving the mother's body. So by saying we're not pro-life, we're pro-forced birth, which is incorrect. That's wrong, because people that support abortion are still pro-birth. That baby, if that fetus comes out of the mother at any point, that is a birth, regardless if it's dead or alive. And on top of that, saying that pro-lifers are anti-choice is also incorrect. Pro-lifers support 4 options: contraception, abstinence, motherhood, and adoption. We just do not support killing another human. 4 choices. We support 4, you guys support 5. How does that make us anti-choice? It just makes us anti-killing, because killing is wrong. I would love to know, and I'll probably make a Discord server for this because YouTube loves disabling comments. So, anyway, okay. They say pro-lifers only care about the fetus, they don't care about the child after it's born. Incorrect. Pro-lifers are 2.5 times more likely to adopt than pro-choicers. People can't go and adopt 10 kids. It's unrealistic. But we, as pro-lifers, adopt more than you guys. So, I don't understand that logic trail. Yes, we adopt, we donate, we create health centers to provide women the means. So we give money to women who have given birth and can't provide for that child. We give food, we give clothing. Yes, that's what pro-lifers do. We help children after they're born that are stuck in bad circumstances. They also say, go adopt all the children from the foster care. Foster care and adoption system are 2 different things. Foster care is children taken away from their homes versus adoption who parents give up their kids. Big, big, big difference. So stop using them interchangeably because you're just, it's dumb. And they're like, oh, the adoption system's overcrowded. Like, why, like, how would putting a bunch of kids up for adoption work? In the adoption system, it needs a reform, obviously. It's way too slow. There are 36 families per 1 child wanting to adopt. 36 families for 1 child. So all these families that either can't have kids of their own or just want to adopt and give a child a good life, there's plenty of them. There's more than enough. We just need a better adoption care system, which is fine. But by saying, oh, it's already overcrowded, like, no one's going to adopt them, it's wrong, it's incorrect. Statistically, it's incorrect. Okay, I just choked on I don't know what. But the next argument is that abortion is necessary health care for women. So I have many issues with this argument. For one, abortion is not health care. A very, very slim, like less than 0.01% of abortions are to save the mother's life. Like, she will die if she does not have an abortion. People say, oh no, ectopic pregnancies. No. Solution for ectopic pregnancies is not an abortion. Its side effect does kill the child, yes, but the main purpose is not killing the. Okay, so as I'm editing this, I'm really filming on my laptop right now. I realized that the camera cut off a lot earlier than I thought, so I'm just going to finish off what I was saying here. So ectopic pregnancies are not an abortion. The solution to them is cutting out the part of, most of the time, the fallopian tube that will kill the mother. The side effect of that is the fetus dying, while an abortion is the intent of exterminating the pregnancy without, like, just by itself. So an ectopic pregnancy is not an abortion, and people need to stop saying that it is, because it's saving the mother, which ends with the fetus dying, not killing the fetus, just plain and simple. And then the next thing I was gonna say is that people say that after a miscarriage, women that need a D&C is like, that's an abortion, which is very incorrect, and it's really horrible for women who have to go through that. It's shaming them into thinking that I had an abortion, like I did that even though I wanted my baby. A miscarriage is the baby dying on its own. It was just a pregnancy that couldn't continue, so the baby died. Now, in a D&C, it's removing all of that excess decomposing tissue and blood and stuff that could seriously harm the mother. So the baby at that point is already dead. So an abortion is terminating the pregnancy, while a D&C is removing the already dead waste from the mother's body before it kills her. So we should stop saying that it is an abortion, because it shames women who have to go through the misery and horrible situation of a miscarriage, and that need help because their bodies couldn't get rid of the waste by itself. It's so wrong, and it needs to stop. You guys need to educate yourself before saying stuff like that. So, at number 15, we have making abortions illegal will not stop them. This argument literally makes me bang my head against a wall. Okay, let's make murder legal. Rape legal. Cocaine. Assault. Battery. Robbery. Let's make these all legal, because it doesn't stop anyone. There's no logic to that argument. And now, yes, of course, banning something won't stop it. But that's not what pro-life people want to do, or at least the majority of us. Radicals maybe, but majority of people do not want to outright ban abortions. We know that wouldn't work. Pro-life people, 1, want better sex education for kids in high school students. 2, better access to contraception. It's already cheap enough. Condoms are like $2 for a pack of 12. Like, if you can't afford $2 condoms, you shouldn't be having sex. Period. The third one is we want women to be allowed to tie their tubes at a young age without needing consent of a male counterpart. That is sexist, and that is so wrong of doctors to be doing. Now, some women have had that experience. Others have gone in, got their tubes tied, and that was it. It was fine. That's the woman's choice. That is her body. Doctors should be allowing women above the age of 18 to do that. All those things together would start allowing less abortions to occur, and that is what pro-life people want. 600,000 abortions a year in the US is way too many. Way too many. In some places like Chicago, abortion rates are higher, in the black community especially, abortion rates are higher than the live birth rate. That is insane. That is disgusting. We as a society need to stop that. And some women say, some insane pro-abortion people say, no, why would we want to limit the amount of abortions? Because it's immoral? You're killing a baby? If you say that, I support abortion, but for you. So aka murder. You are disgusting if you say that. And if you won't at least find common ground with someone on the other side, or at least seek to find common ground, then just go away. You guys can go live on your own island and try to survive. I'd like to see that happen. All in all, these 15 arguments, I think I hit all 15. I might have skipped some. Probably not, though. They're all really dumb and make my brain hurt. Like, I really have a headache right now after filming this video. We as a society need to work together instead of staying on our opposite sides. And it's really hard. Like, yes, it's hard working with someone that disagrees with you. but I find it more coming from the left or from like the radicals. So society will not be productive if we can't find some common ground on these hot topic issues. But these were the top 15 arguments debunked for the pro-choice side. So I'll make a Discord server. I'll link my Instagram down below if you guys want to go follow it so you can actually comment and message me and stuff, because YouTube decides to turn off comments and I don't want to deal with that. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!